Hey, Barflies. My name is Aldo Gandia. Beside me is Tyler Ellis. We're here to give you a halftime report on the Bears-Cardinals game. John Buffone will join us for our after-game show. Tyler, what have you seen? What have you heard? What do you feel about the Bears' first half efforts against the Cardinals, where they are trailing at Soldier Field at the half, 21-7?
Aldo, what I'm seeing is the Bears trying to contend with a number one, top two team of the Eastern Conference. You can just kind of see the difference of talent, but it just seems like the Bears should try to sustain overthrows and tip passes. That really is the game. The Cardinals only started within their own field once. Besides that, the Bears made it easy for the Cardinals to really just score. I mean, you got the Cardinals almost have 100 yards interception return yards. Tying the Bears offensive yards. So David Montgomery is a force. That is what I see. Andy Dalton has spiral capability, but Kyler Murray is just on another level. And Aldo, we could talk about some of the positives, but the fact of the matter is the Cardinals came prepared. This is what a prepared team looks like. It just seems like the Bears can't really just sustain drives through and through to score touchdowns.
Yeah, and for those of you who missed a portion or a part of the first half, let me take you through exactly what happened. The Bears got the ball first, and after two running plays, they throw a pass, and Andy Dalton just throws a terrible ball that's intercepted by the Cardinals, Thompson, and the ball is then at the 28-yard line, and the Cardinals almost were held to a field goal attempt, but on 4th down and 2, Kyler Murray throws a touchdown pass to DeAndre Hopkins, and then on the very next series, the Bears matriculate the ball downfield on their 10th play. Guess what? Another interception. This time, Cole Kmet cannot hold on, and what happens? The Cardinals score a touchdown from 19 yards out. It took them 5 plays. So they're up 14-0 at this point, Tyler. And they haven't even, their offense hasn't even need to go over 50 yards. In fact, they went under 50 yards to score those 2 touchdowns. Right. That's pretty sad, isn't it?
I mean, it's just like, dang. It's just like, dang. But then you think, okay, we punt the ball for the first time, and like, okay, let's see what you guys do from a full field. And then they march down the field with ease.
Yes, that was an outstanding drive. Just to interrupt you quickly, it was a 13-play, 77-yard drive, and David Montgomery earned over 50 of those yards on their drive. Like you said at the top of our segment here, this guy is a player, man. He's a baller. Absolutely. He's a beast. And he just doesn't want to go down. His fight makes me proud to be a Chicago Bears fan. There's a lot of other things that make me shameful of the Bears, but pretty unbelievable. That drive was amazing, man.
And absolutely, Aldo, because David Montgomery just seems to be that center horse that we can still just build around. Mm-hmm. And who would have thought the Bears remembered that Herbert could play football? So you put some spurts of him in there. I just think that was a phenomenal 1-2 punch. We saw a glimpse of Tariq Cohen on the sideline. Looking forward to seeing him somewhere in the future. Yeah. But David Montgomery can get down the field. But besides that, Aldo, James Conner showed us what he used to do in Pittsburgh. Yes, because I mean he was that drive. I mean, we're talking about great breaking tackles. I think Jalen Johnson got taken out the game because he tried to tackle him straight up, and you can't do that.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if Jalen Johnson returned to that game. He injured his shoulder, which was a problem coming into the NFL. And so he injured it. I don't think he returned back. So I was just looking on Twitter real quick. I haven't seen any reports. So hopefully we'll get to see him in the second half, or if he is out the rest of the game, it's not anything serious. He is the number 1 cornerback on this team. And then outside of him, there's just a lot of question marks. They really need to keep this guy healthy. So hopefully it's not an issue, right, Tyler?
Absolutely. Jalen Johnson, he kind of planted. I thought he was going to hesitate for the tackle when James came around the corner, but he didn't go into the tackle. He kind of just waited for James to come in, and that's probably why he took the brunt of that force. And you can see it kind of just shocked him a little bit. That's a big boy to take down. James Conner, who's who was second string on his Cardinals team, who's like showing everybody that Pittsburgh made a mistake of letting him go.
Yes, indeed. Then one of the things that bothered me about the first half, and I know you didn't get a chance to see this, Tyler, but with 151 to go in the half, the Bears get the ball at their 43-yard line, and it gets to 4th down and 2 at the Arizona 49-yard line, and the Bears call timeout. They actually, the timeout was called by Arizona. And the Bears, with 1 minute and 21 seconds left, line up as if they're going to play it on 4th down and 2 and try to pick it up. They decide not to. They tried to get the Cardinals off sides. It didn't work, and they end up punting. I thought, you know what? Your team is 4-7. Yes, you have kept it close because you've been very conservative, but isn't now the time to try for it on 4th down and 2? Tell your team, I have confidence in you. Let's try to get some points before the end of the first half, because the Cardinals now start the third quarter with the ball. So I thought there was kind of a cowardly, maybe that's too strong a word, but cowardly move by Matt Nagy, not going for it there on 4th and 2. What do you think? Do you think the Bears should be aggressive in this game? Now, what do they got to lose?
Absolutely, Aldo. Let's just take it back 2 drives before, when we threw a short 3rd down pass. The Bears fans started to boo, but then we went forward on that 4th down, and Dalton threw a strike to Grant across the middle to convert for the 1st down. Then on the co-commit holding pass, the reason why the Cardinals accepted the penalty was because they thought the Bears would go forward on 4th down. Mm-hmm. And so I thought we would just, like you said, it was 4th and short. Why not go forward? We have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose, but we haven't stopped their offense yet. Mm-hmm. And so therefore we're behind on the sticks. Therefore, we can take advantage of every single opportunity to score at this point. We're doing a bunch of, without our drag routes, is David Montgomery. Mm-hmm. And so, and with these weather conditions, we have to be able to take advantage of it.
Right. The Cardinals' third touchdown of the game, they actually started for the first time in the game, and this was in the middle of the second quarter. They started a drive in their own territory, but it took them only 2 plays to travel 30-some yards to get into Bears territory, and they end up scoring a touchdown on a 7-play drive, 74 total yards, and the big play, as Tyler mentioned, was James Conner looking good. You know, this Arizona team is the best team in the National Football Conference. They have the best road record. They are undefeated. Their turnover margin, their differential in turnovers, is the best in the NFL. So it's a really super tall task for this Bears, even to stay close to them. But they are playing them with a little bit too much. Hey, I respect you so much, I'm not going to take any chances. And let's hopefully they change that mentality in the second half. What do you got to lose? The fire Nagy chants are going to happen, whatever you call. So go out there with a blaze of glory, man.
Absolutely. I mean, we're 4-7. I mean, we're 4-7. Go out with some guile. A lot of these players are playing for next year. The coaching staff should be coaching for next year. I mean, what are you going to do to not lose the locker room? We saw Jalen Johnson, I believe, say in a news report, they're sick of the rah-rah stuff. They're sick of the rah-rah stuff. So that means on the field, let's call some plays that's going to put people in position. The Bears have 5 active tight ends today. That was an indication that maybe we're going to run the ball. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be so much of a kicking game with the water just sitting on the field. And so, but hey, Andy's done a couple good things. He's done a couple good things. He's done a couple bad things. He hasn't. I was about to say he hasn't turned the ball over yet. But I mean, it sucks when it's a tip ball. It sucks when the tip balls go against the quarterback, because if that Cole Kmet should have hold on to that ball, you know. And so, but no fumbles. The Cardinals defense is a vicious defense. This is a team with Super Bowl aspirations.
Yes.
And so what I'm looking for, Aldo, is for Bear Nation, this is a good measuring stick. How do we match up? What's the difference between the Bears and the Cardinals? We could talk about the coaching, the talents, the players, and all the other things, but look how focused, when the lights are on, when these guys are on the field, they're playing for each other, playing with tenacity. Real quick bite spot, we saw Roquan Smith chase down Kyler Murray. He thought he was going to turn that corner. And so Roquan Smith, coming back from an injury, hamstring, which is very, very difficult, to chase down Kyler Murray, that was very, very impressive. So the small things, like John.
I love it. You're absolutely right. You got to, look for those small things because you want all these guys, the Roquan Smiths, Darnell Mooney, he hasn't gotten involved in the offense. You want to see him get involved in the offense. The Cole Kmet, you want to see him hold on to catches. You want to see as many positives as possible, even though it is likely we're going to get our butts handed to us by the end of the game.
Aldo, as we wrap up out of here, we talked about it on the Bear debate on Tuesday nights. That the fact that Darnell Mooney getting a taste of that number one wide receiver. This is what happens when you're on the field. He got lit up, and I honestly thought the guy led with his shoulder. I mean, from one angle, it did look like the helmet, but it looked like it was a clean hit. But with no Allen Robinson, with no super tight end Kelsey, tight end across the middle, hey, that guy's moving down the field. Everybody hitting him. We got Baker. They're actually intercepting the passing lanes. This is what championship football looks like. So these guys are just prepared. It's a good measuring stick for us to figure out.
It really, really is. And hopefully we'll get Justin Fields back next week. We'll talk about all that, all of the things about what could happen next week, because it is Packer week next week. And we'll certainly talk about all the particulars of this Bears Cardinals game. And I'm talking about after the game, immediately after the game, come back here. John Buffone will join Tyler and me. We'll get into all the particulars about what is happening now with the Chicago Bears and what is going to happen in the week to come. Hey, any chance do you think that Matt Nagy is fired at the end of this game? Just asking out of the blue because people want to know.
I mean, honestly, we saw the Carolina Panthers fire their offensive coordinator today.
Yeah, exactly. Today.
Today.
Yep.
And so we saw Cam Newton start hot last week, then cooled off. And I was telling my guy KB from the Barclay Tailgate Show, when a good organization sees a concern or an issue, they want to cut off that cancer as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's highly unlikely, like everyone in the chat room is saying, but you never know. I mean, with these Chicago Bears, you don't know what they're going to be doing. All right. That's our halftime report. Thank you for tuning in. Please join us after the game. We'll have we're wired to listen to Matt Nagy's comments and the quarterback's comments and so forth. And so hopefully, hey, maybe they'll surprise us and have a victory. It has been kind of a mellow first half. It's like I'm not yelling and screaming as much before because the expectation is, hey, it is going to be what it's going to be. You know, it's not too promising.
Absolutely. Hopefully we get some excitement, some passes downfield, and get some lucky passes. I won't be mad.
Yeah, I'll take luck any day of the week, brother. All right, I'll see you later, and thanks everyone for joining us. Bye-bye.